an eerie sight, for my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly...
Hey, what's going on? It's Dr. Ganswell Boogie here again, back for another update. And this is actually going to be a random stuff update, because I don't have any DVDs or VHS tapes to show in this video. But over the weekend I picked up some other really cool stuff. I went to this store that's around the area I live in called Wild Bill's. And I talked about it in one of my last updates, and it's just an awesome store. They have like records, posters, just all that type of stuff, CDs, tapes, like all that. So I went there with my friends over the weekend, and you know, I picked up some really cool stuff, but I actually ended up not getting any DVDs or tapes. But I picked up some Fangoria magazines from the 80's, which I'm really looking forward to showing you guys. And I also picked up a couple posters, smaller posters, and I picked up a bigger poster too, but I'll be showing the two smaller posters I bought because they're horror related, and then I'll show a figure also that I bought at the place. So I'm just gonna get going and show you guys some of these Fangorias. I picked up two Fangorias, and this one is actually issue number 12, and this is from 1981. And I obviously bought this because Friday the 13th Part 2 is featured on the cover, and if you've seen some of my other videos, you know I love the Friday the 13th series, so I just thought this was really, really cool, you know. And it has some cool stuff about Friday the 13th, but you know, it also has dozens of other great articles. You know, they have history of, you know, different sorts of history and information about horror movies and stuff like that. Just, these magazines are just great. Boris Karloff right there. I'll just try to show you guys some of the highlights. Here's the Friday the 13th Part 2 section in the magazine. Really cool here. There's them applying the effects, and some of the pictures in these too I've never seen in these Fangoria magazines. They have some really cool stuff. Here's some more of the Friday the 13th stuff. Really cool behind the scenes photos. That's one of my favorite shots in the film. Mrs. Voorhees' severed head in the refrigerator. It has some stuff about Knight Riders on here, the George A. Romero film, which is really cool because I've actually never seen that. It's one of the ones I want to pick up because I know you can get it on Anchor Bay too, but you know, since it's not a horror movie, it's never been on the top of my list to buy from Romero, but you know, I've always had an interest to want to check it out. But like, these magazines are just great, and I love vintage magazines. I picked up a couple Starlog magazines probably like a month ago, and that's like the science fiction equivalent of Fangoria, and those are really fun to flip through too. But this is some stuff about the Hammer TV show that was around in the early 80's. Just you know, every page of these magazines is just great. And then right here, I thought this was awesome. The interview with Roger Corman, and they just show some awesome pictures here. There's Roger Corman there directing one of the Poe movies. Just really cool. Roger Corman is just a cool looking dude, and he's made some awesome films. But I actually like haven't seen a lot of pictures of Roger Corman when he was younger. Usually I see pictures of him when he was a little older. So it's cool to see these pictures of him younger, like with Vincent Price, like right there. I just thought just really interesting stuff. Really excited that I picked these up. And they also have some stuff about William Castle in this one too, who's another one of my favorite horror directors, along with Roger Corman. So just really cool stuff. Just going to try to see if there's anything else really worth showing in this. There's an interview with Toby Hooper in here too. So just non-stop good information in these. I mean, I've learned stuff just from looking through these, the two that I have, about some of these horror movies and directors that I never knew about. Just shows that magazines sometimes are still important. You know, the internet, it's hard to find certain stuff on the internet sometimes. So that was this one. I picked up another one because it was sort of Friday the 13th related, but the main focus on this one is a film called Spasms, which I've never heard about or seen, and the effect shot that they show on the cover, and they have more pictures inside, is just disgusting. Look at that. But there's a poster for Friday the 13th Part 2 in here, which is why I bought this one. And the poster is actually interesting, not of Jason or anything you would expect, but I forget his name, the guy in the wheelchair from the first one with a machete jabbed into his face. You know, that's a good thing to have hanging on your wall right there. But this one I'm just going to flip through real quick because it had some stuff about David Cronenberg in it. And I got both of these in really good condition for only $5 each, which is about normal price for the Fangoria magazines. They go for about $5-10 online, so you know you could buy them cheaper if you go to the right thrift store or you know like that. But most of the time you're going to be finding these for around that price. The older ones from the 80's. Here's the effect shots I was talking about from that movie. Spasms, just really gross stuff. I've actually never seen or even heard of the movie, so you know, after looking at this magazine, it definitely made me want to check it out. Just really cool. This right here has some information about like older horror movies and new horror movies. Just, you know, you can learn a lot from flipping through Fangoria magazine. But I'm just trying to find the David Cronenberg section they had in here. Right here, actually. And this is about the Dead Zone on the side. The Dead Zone, and there's a cool picture of David Cronenberg right there. And then if I can get it in on here, there's a picture of David Cronenberg and Deborah Hill, who produced that, and she's most well known for producing like Halloween and working with John Carpenter. But she produced the Dead Zone, which is one of my favorite David Cronenberg movies. I just think it's awesome. Christopher Walken does a great job in that. But just a couple more things about the Dead Zone and, you know, just other cool stuff. I mean, everything about these magazines is just cool. The ads, the just random information you find in here, just, you know, really cool pictures and stuff too. That was about the guy who did effects on Friday the 13th Part 2. And just really cool stuff. There's some page about Hammer stuff. It's really cool. You know, they cover everything in here. Vintage stuff from the 30s all the way up. But, you know, I'm sure everybody has an idea of the Fangoria magazines. But I myself have never actually had a chance to flip through an old vintage Fangoria from the 80s since I bought these. So it was really cool when I got these. And this one is actually issue 28. And this one came out in 83. Alright, so that was really cool. Hope you guys weren't bored watching me look through magazines, but I just think these are really cool. And then next up I got these two mini posters they had there that I just thought were awesome. And there's probably going to be some super glare on these because they got these plastic frame things around them. But I picked up a mini poster for An American Werewolf in London, which is one of my favorite horror movies ever. It's one of my favorite. It's the reason why John Landis is one of my favorite directors. I just think this is his best movie, and this has always been one of my favorite horror movies. Even when I was first just getting into collecting and buying horror movies, I've just always been a really big fan of this movie. I think it's the best werewolf movie ever made. Even beats the Universal Lon Chaney Jr. one. And then I also picked up this really awesome mini poster of Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark, and Elvira is just the best. I love her show, and her movie is awesome too. I want to definitely eventually try to get her second movie on DVD because I have her first one. Just really cool. Awesome poster here. Always wanted to get an Elvira poster, so glad to finally get one. And then last for this video is I picked up this Marvel figure, which is of Daredevil, which is one of my favorite Marvel superheroes. I used to really be into collecting Daredevil comics when I was a lot younger. I would say probably almost like 10 years ago. I used to collect newer Daredevils, and I also used to buy the older ones if I can find them. So this is really cool. This figure is actually from the 90s. I think this whole line, which is just called Marvel Superheroes, came out in 1990. So it's pretty cool, and there's some of the other figures in the line, just cartoon pictures of them, but they had some of these other figures there, like they had the Doctor Doom one, the Captain America one, and some of the other ones, but I went for the Daredevil one just because, like I said, he's one of my favorite heroes. I've always liked his costume, and the fact that he's like, you know, his costume kind of looks like a devil. I just always thought he was cool. But he's like a weird character. If you ever seen the crappy movie or read any of the comics, he's like a blind, like attorney or judge or I forget, like a lawyer, I forget, but he's like a blind something, and he's also a superhero. So it's kind of cool, kind of like Marvel's answer to Batman, but not exactly. But I used to love the comics, and the movie with Ben Affleck was not that good, but I remember when it first came out, I saw it in theaters. That's how big a fan of Daredevil I was at the time. And I remember, you know, sort of liking it back then when it first came out. I just felt like it didn't really follow much of the continuity from the comics too much, but I can't even remember the comics too well now either, because it's been like 10 years since I've read any of them. But, you know, definitely wouldn't mind buying some of the Daredevil comics again. I probably would maybe even check out the movie again and give it another shot. But Daredevil figure from the 90s, pretty cool package. It was only $15, which I thought wasn't too bad. So that was the update for this week, and like I said, no DVDs or VHSs for this one, but next week I should be back with some, you know, cool DVD pickups, because over this weekend I'm definitely going to be going to FYE and seeing what I can find for some good like Halloween horror deals and everything like that. So you know, again, if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up or leave a comment, and thanks for watching.